Well, hi, everybody. We are live, it tells me. And I'm guessing you can hear me. Can you hear me? Somebody somebody say if they can hear me or not. And it usually takes 30 seconds or so before I see anything. So, oh good. Thanks, Brian. Okay, hi everybody. Um I'm sure a lot of you are noticing that I have a new shirt, and I debated wearing it because it's kind of flashy. It's a nice shirt, and I thought I don't want my shirt to distract from the content of today's live stream. But I decided to wear it, and I'm just hoping that there's just not all comments about my shirt. Like I wonder if it's comfortable, it looks soft, all that kind of stuff. I just don't want it to be distracting. So, but I did get a new shirt, so that's that. Hi, you guys. Oh my gosh, there's so many people in the chat right now. Yeah, and everybody's talking about my shirt. That I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen. But sometimes you take a risk, and you know, you wear the stuff that you want to wear. So if you're watching this not live, but after the fact, if you just stumbled upon this live stream, you can look you can look at the date that this was recorded, and that will give you a hint that this is the holiday season. Based on that date. So, because it's the holiday season, I want to show you guys how to make my favorite holiday drink. This is one that I created a few years back. It's one of my favorites, and it's pretty easy to make. You take a glass, any kind of glass. I like to use these, but whatever you want, and you take your favorite Scotch. Again, it can be anything. Today, I'm going with the Lagavulin 16. Thanks to Amy Bentley for keeping me in a good supply of this stuff. And you put 1 part Scotch, and then you do another part Scotch, about like that. And this is a drink that's hard to mess up, but let's see how I did. It's great. I did really well. This is really the only way to mess this up is if the glass that you get has a hole in the bottom. That's gonna affect the volume of your drink. You could screw the common by the new. You go to pour the bottle into the glass, and you miss the glass, and you pour it in your lap instead. That's a mistake that some people make. But other than that, you really can't mess it up. So that's a lovely Scotch. It's called a nod to the holidays. That's what I call this particular drink, a nod to the holidays. And I think if you're not used to drinking whiskey, especially liquor straight, you can make the same drink, and you can call it Santa's Claus. That's a good name if you're not used to drinking liquor straight. Okay, so that's what I'm drinking, Lagavulin 16. All right. We'll fix on my mustache there. And let's see. So here's the plan. I am going to go through a bunch of stuff that I have on my clipboard here. We'll do Q&A. I will answer questions from the chat as I see them. And as you may know, I don't see most of them because I'm preoccupied. So if you super chat them, I will definitely see them for sure. Absolutely will see your super chat. Unless I don't, and if I don't, then somebody will text me, either Amy or Erica, to let me know that I've missed a super chat. So then I'll see it. So if I don't see it right away, don't worry, I'll get to it. So here we go. Where are we at on this? You guys, I got some lovely gifts this past week. Jackie sent me a box from I think it's the Scottish Trading Company. I hope I'm saying that right, but it's basically an importer, a Scottish importer. And she sent me fudge that is flavored with different scotches, which is such a perfect gift for me. And also a marmalade that's flavored with Lafroig, and it's delicious. That came from Jackie. The Harpers sent me a box with a bunch of candy in it, but also tons of enrichment for my snakes, a bunch of fake plants for my snakes, like a big box full, which was perfect timing because it showed up on Sunday. And I was doing a full clean out of all my enclosures on Sunday. And what I do when I clean out the enclosures is I take out all the enrichment, all the fake plants and the wood and stuff like that, and I just throw them all in a bucket together. And that's the last thing I do. So I clean out all the cages, set them all back up and everything. And then I have this job of cleaning the enrichment and redistributing it. And I'm kind of tired at that point and I don't want to do it. So this was perfect because as I was cleaning cages, this big box of brand new clean enrichment showed up. And I was like, yes, I can put off cleaning the old stuff. I can leave it in the bucket and just put the new stuff in. So that was cool. And then somebody sent me a Nestle dairy chocolate box, like a box of Nestle dairy chocolate, which is so good. And I have no idea who sent it because there was no note in there or card or anything. So if anybody wants to take credit for that, let me know. I mean, you know, I want to know who actually sent it because I don't know who to thank. It's really good though. I like it a lot. Oh, you guys want to see a snake? Here. Maya is just slithering by right now. Hang on. Hey, can I see you for a minute? She was just coming out from under the couch, and I startled her. Sorry, Maya. She's been out for 2 hours, cruising around. Matt Tracy, thanks for the super chat. Hold on, let me find this again. Matt's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Matt. Spitfire says, well, I can't repeat that, but Merry Christmas to everyone. Thanks, Matt. I hope Spitfire is doing well. It sounds like she is. I appreciate all the updates on her. She's a unique animal. I'll say that. Thanks for that super chat. You guys, I'm already gonna just remove my mustache because it's gonna be so annoying to have it dropping down into my mouth as I talk. I really like it though. This is all thanks to Lucy because at Christmas time, she gets me beard stuff. She gets me socks with beards on them. She gets me beard ornaments. She once gave me like a kitchen towel that had beard stuff on it. So anyway, Lucy always gets fun gifts for me, and that's where the beard stuff came from. Hang on, I'm just letting Maya go because I forgot. I'm used to not holding her for very long. I just kind of let her go where she goes. I forgot that she's on camera with me. Maya, you're my co-host right now. So I took video of this and I was going to show it, but I didn't get it set up in time. But behind me, right there, this thing right here, she decided she was going to try to climb like an arboreal snake. And she got about 2 feet up, like her whole body about 2 feet up, maybe 3 feet, and then decided she didn't quite know what she was doing and she better come down. So she turned around. But she's been exploring. I mean, this is the perfect room for her right now because I have stuff all over the place that I don't normally have. It's like I've got some bags on the ground and just things in a different spot. She notices when a thing is in a different spot. She'll inspect it for a long time. So for 2 hours, she's been just cruising around very slowly, checking out all the things that are different in the room. Hang on. I'm going to make sure to check my texts because... Oh, I've already missed a super chat. I'm doing really well, you guys. Hang on. Hi, Viz Pythons. Thanks for the super chat. How do you feel about hot toddies? There might be more super chats up there. I'm not sure. How do you feel about hot toddies? I like a hot toddy. I haven't had one. Oh, I think I probably had one last year. I enjoy them. That's a drink. I usually don't do mixed drinks, but I enjoy a hot toddy. They're lovely. Is that made with Irish whiskey? I can't remember. I don't think I've ever made one, but I have ordered them before. Let me just scroll up. Okay. That's so funny that was the very first super chat, and I missed the first one. And here's the most recent one. Heavy AF Deuce. Where can I hear your music, Bob? I guess you can hear it if you watch old Green Room Pythons videos. I don't have recorded music. I am a hobbyist musician. I used to teach music. I don't teach much anymore, but I used to teach guitar and ukulele and banjo and mandolin. And I have recorded on it's usually mandolin or banjo. I'll record on albums that, like, if a friend of mine is doing an album or something and needs that, I'll go and record. But I don't record my own stuff really. Mainly because I'm not a singer. I'm a terrible singer. And so I'm not really writing songs. I work on tunes. I think my strong suit is taking somebody else's song and creating like a mandolin line or a banjo thing to go sort of underneath it, a counter melody type thing. You going back there, lady? Okay. She's just going to crawl through this Mag Naturals ledge. I'm going to keep my arm here to give her some support because she doesn't know when she's going to fall. And then I guess I'm letting her loose again. I probably should put her back so I can get other snakes out. That would be a better thing to do. But let me let her get through this. You're going to just pull this off, lady. Here. Ugh. Look at that. I gotcha. All right. Oh, thanks, Heavy. That thing you did with Cusco was beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was really fun to do. That's my favorite thing to do with music is just jam with somebody. Doesn't have to be hard or complicated. It can just be simple chords or whatever, but it's super fun. And Cusco is a great musician. I really enjoy playing with people that are better than me because it makes me better. And I wish we had done that for longer. We were all trying to shoot videos, but Cusco is definitely a better musician than I am, and he's fantastic. Luke, thanks for the super chat. Do you have a question to go with that? Thanks for that. That's really nice. Amanda, thanks for the super chat. Merry Christmas, Bob Kent and all the snakes from Alabama. Amanda, thank you so much. That's so nice. That is lovely. I appreciate that. Have I missed any others? Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, that's so nice. Thanks for the super chats, you guys. So I don't know if this is a great idea to have Maya on my hat at this point, but we'll see. She's a pretty big snake. She used to not be, but as happens with some species of snake, they tend to grow. I mean, I would venture to say that all species of snake tend to grow, but some just are heavier than others. Let's just see what she does here. I'm going to let her do her little climbing thing, but then I'm going to have to watch her. You know what? Let's do this. Okay. Now what I think we're going to do is get her back. Okay. I'm going to get her back in her cage really quick. She's going to be fed tonight. So all this hunting around will pay off for her. Luke, thanks for the super chat. Can we see Lydia Dietz? Such a great name. Thanks. Also would love to see Freya. I missed the first super chat. I messed up that first super chat. So here's that's so nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, we can do that. By the way, especially since I just put Maya back. Hang on. Did I miss a super chat? Hang on. Okay, Erica, I did not miss those super chats. Did I miss one from Jen? Jen, did you super chat me and I missed it? I know some just came in. I think I've looked at all of through these and I think I've covered them all so far. Amy, if I missed one from Jen, will you just screenshot it and send it to me? Sorry, guys. Hang on. Okay. As far as I can tell, I did not miss any from anybody. Jen is high vis. You got it. Okay, great. Okay. And I'm going to get to Elizabeth in just a second. Elizabeth, thanks for the super chat. Let me get out Lydia Dietz before I forget. Hi, Mama. Oh, big girl. She got a pretty good sized meal last night, so I'm not going to have her out for. Lydia Dietz is out. They know she's one of the snakes that takes the opportunity to come out anytime I open her cage. She's as long as she's not in her hide. Like right now, she was in her hide. She probably wouldn't have come out had I not brought her out. But she's often in the morning in the front of her cage, so I bring her out. She made some pretty babies this year. She did really well. Okay, Elizabeth, thanks for the super chat. I'm excited to catch a live. I work Tuesdays. Oh, I'm glad we changed the day then. Merry Christmas. I love the beard. Hit the like button, everyone. Oh, that's so nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you only hit the like button if you like it. If you don't like what you're watching, don't worry about it. Don't waste your time, hitting the like button. Continue to watch, but don't waste your time hitting the like button. But if you do like it, it helps to have that like button hit. Hey, you're just going to be right there? Okay. All right, lady. Chris, thanks for the super chat. We may not get to the Patreon questions for a long time if people keep super chatting, but I appreciate those. Chris, thanks for that. Love the beard. Bob, how's Handsome Dan doing? And do you have a dream species other than what you have already? Handsome Dan is doing great. In fact, maybe we'll get him out later. Somebody remind me. I think that was already requested. Amy actually requested. So So you know, Amy compiles the list of questions for me from Patreon. She does a great job with this, and she puts in her requests for snakes to be seen. She requested 9 snakes. That is a full 1/3 of the family of snakes in the green room. Is her request. So many of these are probably on her list. Anyway, Chris, thanks for that super chat. My dream species. I mean, I have a bunch of dream species. I would say, I mean, the 2 big sort of standard dream species that I probably won't have anytime soon are a Boland's python, which I think a lot of people say that. I would love to have a basin, emerald tree boa basin, Amazon basin. You know, if I had the room, I would have a scrub python probably, or 2. Might have an olive python. I like those big Australian pythons. There's so many that I want. I love the Antaresia species, especially the tiniest one, the pygmy python. Love those. So, you know, there's so many. Black-headed python was on my list until I got Maya. Oh, here's Aaron asking about Maya right now. Aaron, Maya is 3 years old, 3.5, something like that. Yeah, I think. Matt, thanks for the super chat. Since I can't own one, can we see a super dwarf retake? Yes, yes, we can. Hang on. I just put Lydia back because I think she wants to sit in our warm side and keep digesting that meal. Tell you what. How about this one? Oops. Hi, Echo. You want to come out? So Echo's going to come out. Good chance she'll bite my arm as she comes out because she's looking for food. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do this responsibly and just let her know. Oh, she's actually doing good. Hi. Hi. See that hook? All right, she's doing fine. She doesn't really need it. So I positioned my mic a little bit lower today because usually it's blocking your view up there. So she'll get up there and find her spot, and then we'll keep an eye on her. Okay. All right. Let's get to you all right there, lady? Okay, let's get to some of these Patreon questions. While Echo makes her way, you gonna go up? What are you gonna do? Don't bite me. Those of you who saw the little extra video that I did on Patreon of training Echo to not bite me when she comes out, that's basically what I do. Just show her my arm and try to pull it away before she tries to bite me. Tara, thanks for the super chat. I missed the Patreon list. Been missing you all. And Bob, what's your favorite Christmas meal? Oh, you know what? I'll tell you my favorite Christmas dish. It's a thing my sister makes. She found this recipe a few years back for, it's just caramelized onions with this pesto, but it's like a special kind of pesto. I don't understand what it is, but like I could just eat that for Christmas dinner and have nothing else. Oh my gosh, the super chats are rolling in. You guys, thank you so much. Hi, Lindsay. Happy holidays, Bob. Late to the party, no question. Just want to say I love your Patreon, Discord, and videos so much. Excited for my first ball python. Oh, that's fantastic. Congrats on your first ball python. I'm glad that you're enjoying those communities. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Those are great communities. Discord, Patreon, they're just great people. And the community just in this chat when the live streams happen is really fantastic as well. Jack, thanks for the super chat. Hey, been enjoying your content a lot at the moment. Makes me feel like I can always do more with my reptiles. The way I see you with your snakes. Oh, that's fantastic. Thanks so much, Jack. I'm glad that you're liking those videos. That's great. Okay. All right, now we're getting to the Patreon questions. Here we go. Troy says, new Flaming Beard subscriber, thunderclap. And then Amy makes a note because she compiles these. Amy says, nice, that's my favorite tier because I've seen Bob almost light his beard on fire a couple times. She has, that's true. Also, I love a good Horde of Keepers Thundercrack. All right, so Troy asks, when my UVB is off at night, what is the best light to use to view your snake without bothering her? Just the light in the room, the ambient light in the room. I'd keep, for in the evening, I would just keep the lights off because they can see any light. Even people try to put black light in there, so it's like that purplish light. That's still a light that snakes can see. And they can also see the ambient light in the room, but at least their cage light is off, And then his second question is, I noticed my ball python feels leathery / fabric-like. I'm curious, when do they start to feel more scaly, smooth? I'm guessing, so it's hard to know what you mean by this, but my guess is that you have a baby ball python, and babies are just smoother because their scales are really small, and so they do feel kind of like leathery skin, I guess. So as the snake gets bigger, those scales will get bigger, and you'll start to feel the scales more. Like Echo here. Hi, don't bite me. Reticulated pythons have pretty small scales. They definitely feel like leather. They don't have real bumpy scales. Don't do it, lady. She's really, can you see her? She's reaching over for me. I'm not feeding you. See, the tough thing is these snakes pretend not to know English. And so they just sort of ignore me when I talk to them. Stop it. Why don't you go up? She's been super food crazy lately. And her last 2 meals have been pretty big because I think she's in a growth spurt. She wants to grow. And but she's been real food motivated lately. Okay, and their lights just went out. So the lights in there just went out. I can see Stella down there though, with the room lights. I might let Stella out too, but Stella's a little bit. I can trust Echo to stay right up there. Stella's going to move around a lot more, and I'll have to keep more of an eye on her. But what I want to do is focus on these Patreon questions, or on your or on your super chats. Have I missed any? Brian, thanks for the super chat. Is it possible to see Kent tonight? Not tonight. I'm sorry. I wish we could. Maybe another live stream, but Kent, he leaves about 10 minutes before he's supposed to clock out, and he's back at home. As you all know, he lives with our mom and dad, and in the basement there, and that's where he is right now. Probably watching a VHS tape of Harry and the Hendersons, one of his favorite films, and or listening to a cassette tape of TLC, 90s hip hop group TLC. That's what he does. All right, here we go. Okay, so we got Troy's. Okay, Wendy has a few questions. Wendy asks, I have a strange question. My python started small, and while he's growing well, it seems like his head is still small compared to other pythons. Is there an average head size or proportion? Does that suggest he'll stay on the smaller side? I mean, it's hard to say without seeing the snake. Some ball pythons seem to have smaller heads than others, especially if the body is fat, and then you've got this much smaller head. But I'm guessing um, you're saying he's 3.5 foot and about 2 pounds, 2 years old. It's always hard for me to visualize, but uh, you know, I'll tell you this if I can get to him. So this little boy, Max, when he came out, he had a very tiny head, and I was like, "Oh, I think there might be something wrong with him." And and also he was strawberry colored. He was like only one color. Maybe some of you remember this snake. And I decided to keep him. And his head is grown. He still has kind of a small head and kind of a big body because he's a good eater. But I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think that he just he just has a little bit of a smaller head. So I think that's a thing with snakes sometimes, but it's not really a problem typically. Matt, thanks for the super chat. Kent needs to make a brief cameo. Just a brief cameo. It's really hard when he's back at home for him to, like if he was going to drive all the way over here or take the bus all the way over here, he might as well hang out for a while. But I appreciate the super chats though. So Echo, check this out. She is right up there in her log, which is where she's coming out. It's evening basically now, but she oftentimes will come out in the morning and find that log and sit there, and she'll be there the entire day, just sitting there hoping a bat flies by. Okay. Wendy also asks, here's a not reptile question. Do you like to cook or bake? What kinds of food do you like to cook? Or do you think you would like to cook? I do enjoy cooking. I don't bake really, but I do like to cook, and I like to barbecue. I'm pretty good at soup. I make a dang good soup in the Instant Pot. I love a good bacon wrapped jalapeno popper. I make those more often than you would think. You would think that would be like a specialty item that you would make only during certain times. Sometimes it's just staple food for me, bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. So stuff like that. I like to cook. My sister looks at the family, very good at it. When I'm home for the holidays, I stay out of their way, is what I do. And then Wendy's third thing is, hi, Amy and Erica. All right, so that's from Wendy. Hi, Amy and Erica. Okay, Sinatuli asks, hi, do you have any emergency plans for your snakes? For example, if there's a medical emergency or if you need to vacate the house quickly. I've been thinking about this and worried what to do in case I need to vacate the apartment and it's winter time. Yeah, so I've talked about this a lot because it comes up. It's good that it comes up a lot because it means that it's on people's minds and it's something that you need to think about. So I think it was my last live stream. I talked about having a plan in case you die, having a plan for your snakes. And I have talked to my grown children about that. I have 3 boys that are grown, and we've talked about that. I have a couple people that could handle taking care of my snakes if I were incapacitated for a while. One of them being Amy, who lives in Utah, but I know she'd come over. And then Lucy, who babysits my snakes anyway, would be able to come and take care of that if I were just in the hospital. And then I always recommend having a generator. If you're in a cold area and the power might go out, it's good to have a generator. Okay. Fab Caro has a couple questions. I would like to know the final percentage of your chlorhexidine solution. Oh, I wish I knew that off the top of my head. That you use after diluting it. How long can it be Can this solution be diluted and used for before it loses efficiency? That's a great question, because there's a rumor going around reptile forums and stuff that say that chlorhexidine can only be used for a week after you dilute it. But I did extensive research, including trying to get a hold of the company. I couldn't get a hold of them, but I did ask a bunch of vets, because a bunch meaning two. I asked two vets because veterinarians use chlorhexidine, and that's not true. You can use it for a long time. I have a bottle. I'll probably change my chlorhexidine once every 3 or 4 months because I'm run out of it and need to mix more. Oh, Amy knows. Hang on. Amy's saying 2 tablespoons per gallon of chlorhexidine. Okay. That's the recommended dilution. I think I do more than that. I definitely do more than that. But if that's the recommended, just go with the recommended. So what I do is I have a bottle that's about like it's probably a 32-ounce bottle. And I have it marked. I figured out what my dilution was going to be. And I have the water line marked. I filled up with water. And then I have the chlorhexidine line marked. Chlorhexidine is like this much, and the bottle's almost full. So it's a 32-ounce bottle though. And I'm putting at least 2 tablespoons into that. So, but there are different dilutions for different things, I do it for sanitation, but the 2 tablespoons per gallon might be their regular cleaning solution. Amy says she also does more than that. She says their recommended is 2 tablespoons per gallon, but she does more than that. I believe Snake Discovery has an old video, because I think I remember seeing Emily going through all the cleaning supplies that she uses, and she talks about the dilution ratios, and I'm almost sure that she talks about chlorhexidine in that. So look up that Snake Discovery video, and that'll tell you. Okay. All right. Fab Caro is also asking, do colorful ball python morphs fade in color when they get older? And if so, which morphs is it known to be happening? Yes, ball python morphs definitely fade in color. Most of them do. So the better question is which ones don't. There's a few that don't. If you have desert ghost in your in your snake, chances are the snake won't fade. That's why desert ghost is such a fantastic morph. That's a recessive, and they're pretty expensive, but it's great because the snake doesn't fade. Ultramel doesn't fade. Snakes that have inchy don't fade as much. What else, you guys? Put them in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this after. Put down snakes that you feel don't fade. Those are ones that I could think of off the top of my head, but there are some others that don't fade as much. Desert Ghost is your big one though. If you have a combo of a bunch of stuff that normally would fade and it's got Desert Ghost in there, those snakes are going to stay bright. So it's pretty cool. Oh, Heavy is saying, thanks for the next super chat, Heavy, saying 2 teaspoons per gallon for cleaning wounds. Yeah, so that's 2 teaspoons per gallon for clean. So there's different dilutions depending on what you're going to use it for. I use chlorhexidine to sanitize. I use it in my, I buy dry wipes and I have them in chlorhexidine solution. So I pull a wipe and it's got sanitizing chlorhexidine, and that's what I pick up urates and poop with. And it's also what I clean tubs with. Or I clean if I'm cleaning the enclosures, I clean with Dawn dish soap, and then I chlorhexidine the entire thing with the sanitization dilution. So don't clean wounds if you have sanitization dilution. Don't clean wounds with that because that's way too much. All Thorstad, thanks for the super chat. Quick note of thanks. You really helped me get over a lifelong fear of snakes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Last weekend, I adopted a stunted ball python from Adoption Island at Snake Discovery. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. That's fantastic that you adopted over there. She's around 3.5 years old and apparently still juvenile size. That's so cool. Well done. Congratulations on getting over your fear and adopting, and especially adopting from Snake Discovery, because man, they, I've seen their operation. I've seen their quarantine situation. I've seen how well they take care of those animals that they bring into Adoption Island. And I've also seen Emily grill people that come in, like grill them about what their setup is and what their situation is to make sure that they can take care of these animals. I mean, she's really concerned about that. And they have a lot of animals to adopt out. A lot of places would be like, yes, please just take the animal. But Emily and the whole staff is really good about making sure that animal is going to a home that it's probably going to be at for a long time. So All Thorstad, congrats on that. That's fantastic. Amy, thanks for the super chat, Amy. Amy says, Port Charlotte was a great recommendation. Thanks. And Slancha. Yes, Slancha, Amy. And Lagavulin was a great gift. I appreciate it. Port Charlotte is my other favorite, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's right. You got that bottle last week, and you were going to drink it during this live stream. So you're having Port Charlotte right now, and I'm so glad. I could be having Port Charlotte, but the Lagavulin is my Isla Scotch of choice. But I'm switching to Aberlour now. We're doing 2 of these holiday. What did I call this drink? A nod to the holidays. Is that what I called it? I also called it Santa's Claus, which I really think is a better name for the drink. But anyway, so this is still Scotch that I'm drinking, but it's a completely different Scotch from what I was drinking before. Like if you had these side by side, you would not think that they were the same type of whiskey. This one is a sherried cask, so it tastes like fruit and sherry, whereas that one that I was just drinking tastes like sea brine and campfires. So good. If you're watching this and you're into scotches, but you haven't tried the sherried cask scotches, I highly recommend starting with Aberlour. And you can get any number of expressions from Aberlour. This one happens to be the cask Anima, but there's a number of them, and they're all fantastic. Heavy, you're winning the super chat race right now. I stole your dry wipes trick. That's great. That's great. I tell you what, it's not the most cost effective if you have 100 snakes, but if you don't have 100 snakes, it's super easy to just grab a dry wipe and know that you have the solution on your hands as you're picking up the stuff. I mean, I still wash my hands after, but it just helps. It's, not as cheap as just a paper towel though, I would guess, because you have to buy these boxes of the dry wipes and then you soak them in chlorhexidine. But I really like using them. Okay. Oh, Amy super chatted again. Have I missed any super chats, by the way? Oh, I'm also switching to Aberlour. That's right. That's right. I forgot that. So Amy was at a store that sold fine scotches and whiskeys in where were you in Vegas last week? I think you were in Vegas or right outside Vegas. And she messaged me to ask what she should get, and I had her just send me a video of the shelves. And I gave her some recommendations, and she got 2 of my recommendations. That's always fun to do. I like recommending good scotches to people who enjoy them. Okay, where am I? Hang on. Maybe I missed a super chat. Let me just. Okay, Erica's reminding me that I need a snake. You're right. Hang on. I'm going to get one in a second. And Amy's reminding me that also. You were caught up on super chats, but you need a snake co-host. All right. So you know what, Amy? I'm gonna grab one of your suggestions. We got Echo still up there. Hang on a second. Okay. And somebody else asked for this, and Amy did as well. Handsome Dan, ladies and gentlemen. Handsome Dan. He is the subject, or one of the subjects, of next week's video, which actually we might skip next week because of the holidays and because my scheduling got a little bit crazy. So that video might come out the week after, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But Handsome Dan is, Handsome Dan is doing very well. Hang on. Tara, thanks for the super chat. I love how successful this channel is becoming. You absolutely deserve it, Bob. Your content is fabulous. Oh, Tara, thank you so much. That's so nice of you to say. I appreciate that. Dan's already trying to get to my hat. That's really nice. I appreciate it. I am very thankful for the fans of this channel, for sure. Really, really happy to be doing this thing that I love and that I'm passionate about. So I feel very fortunate. Telecaster, thanks for that super chat. Merry Christmas, Bob. Just ordered a 4x2x2 for Guinevere. Oh, that's great. From Black Box Cages. Awesome. What a great company to buy from. Thanks for all the snake fun. Yes, they are a great company to buy from. Their customer service is great, and they make really nice cages. I'm very happy that the channel is aligned with them, sponsored by them. They're really great. Congrats on that, Telecaster. That's fantastic. Jackie, yes, I did try the Lefroy marmalade. Were you on when I mentioned the gift that you sent? I just tried the Lefroy marmalade the other day, and so you sent that, Jackie, right as I was coming off of a fast, so I couldn't eat sugar for like a week. So I had to put all that stuff in the cupboard and not try it for about a week. And so yeah, the Lefroy marmalade is amazing. And the fudge is all really different. And I 2 scotches, because they're not scotches that I'm super familiar with, but they were all really good. But the one that was just Southern Comfort was my favorite of the fudges. And I wouldn't have thought that, because Southern Comfort is not that's not something that I drink or that I enjoy at all. But it's great in fudge. Tara, thanks for the next super chat. That's so nice. And please remember to hit thumbs up if you like this. I know more than 3 of you adore Bob. That's so nice. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing this from my StreamYard program, so I can't see how many likes there are, but you know, it's helpful to hit the like button, because YouTube pushes the live stream out to more people if they get a lot of likes during the stream. Okay, Handsome Dan, you are doing great, but I don't want you climbing on that microphone. Handsome Dan got an extra meal this week. He gets fed every 2 weeks, and he got an extra small meal the other day because I realized that I needed a shot of him being target trained, of him doing his target training for the next video. I'm giving you guys some behind the scenes stuff for the next video. And I didn't have it. I didn't have video of him anywhere that I could find being target trained. And I know I've taken video of it. So we did it again. He got a meal 7 days later. He got a small mouse, so he's happy. But I'm careful not to overfeed the boa. You don't want to overfeed the boas, but he does fine. I feed him pretty sparingly. But anyway, he likes food and he knows his target very well. He doesn't strike at anything. Like he would never strike at a inanimate object, but when he sees that green ball, you more often than not gets so excited because he knows it means food and he just starts striking and he's just a crazy striker. And I have to let him calm down, reset, touch it with his nose, and then he gets his food. So we'll see how long that lasts. He's been like that for quite a while. He learned what his target was quite a while ago. And like after maybe 3 sessions, he figured out that target means food. And so we're just trying to get him to where he doesn't strike at his target. All right, let me see. I think I have all the super chats except this one from Hog Stricters. Thanks for this, Hog Stricters. I love the story of how and why you got Handsome Dan, and how you kept him and added him to the green room. Another great stream. Thanks, Bob. Oh, that's so nice, Hog Stricters. That's really sweet. Yeah, you know, for those of you who don't know the story, I basically accidentally got him at an auction. But I made much bigger of a deal of it because it was a big deal that the green room was getting a boa, you know. And I did, in the moment when I accidentally got the snake. For those of you who don't know, the short story is that I was not paying attention. I knew there was a snake up for auction. I had heard that the value was like, I think $1,200 or something like that. And I don't remember what the dollar amount was, but let's say the value was $1,200, and the bidding was or I think it was $1,600, and the bidding was like $400, and it slowed down. So I'm chatting with somebody. I think I was chatting with Leland Riker, and I saw the bidding slow down, and I just threw my hand up, and I was the last person to throw my hand up. So I'm like, what did I even get? What is even the snake? And so I end up with Handsome Dan, and it turns out he's a Central American boa, which is dwarf. He's got some dwarf blood in him, so he won't be very big, which is good. And I was planning on selling him. That was Saturday night at the Pomona show, and I thought, all right, I'll bring him back on Sunday, and I'll just trade him for a python, some species of python that I want. And I got there, and there's a whole video on it, but basically I got there and I couldn't find a python that I was more excited about than Handsome Dan. And so I brought him home, and I thought, okay, I'll put him in quarantine. And once he's out of quarantine, maybe I'll sell him. Maybe I'll just sell him to one of my Patreon supporters. And after he was here about 3 days, I was pretty sure I was going to keep him. So I'm still pretty sure I'm going to keep him. Hang on one second. Hey, Yoli, I'm doing a live stream right now. Like literally, you're on my live stream right now. Okay, bye. That's my neighbor and one of my closest friends, Yoli. Okay. Is that all I wanted to say about that Handsome Dan stuff? Matt, thanks for the super chat, Matt. Matt's asking if he can have. Yeah, sorry, Matt. I know everybody wants Handsome Dan. He is a handsome boy, and he's very nice, especially for a Central. You know, Centrals have the reputation of being pretty cantankerous, and he's not. Skolson, some of you have gotten the Christmas cup from Skolson, maybe some others. Happy holidays, Bob. Looking forward to 2024 with the Horde. Thanks again for the amazing shout out. Oh, that's so nice. Thanks, Skolson. Thanks for the amazing gift. Skolson sent me a wonderful holiday coffee mug, or gave me. He lives in town, so we met in person, and he gave me a couple coffee mugs and a pillow. And then I mentioned his Etsy shop, which I can't remember what it is now. Skolson, put it in the chat, because I can't remember what your Etsy shop is. Sorry. Anyway, I mentioned it, and I think a number of people from the Horde of Keepers jumped in and ordered stuff because he's got cool designs. Clayton, thanks for the super chat. Preparing to get a ball python. Any suggestions on hides to get or hides to avoid? I would say avoid any hides that, sometimes you'll see hides in pet stores that are super porous, and those are really hard to clean and they hold bacteria. So that's a good question. I don't think I've talked about this much, or maybe at all, that you want to be careful not to get those. They always look cool, but the really super porous things are really tough to keep clean. So get something that's smooth. Just those smooth black hides from Reptile Basics are the easiest ones, but they don't look as cool. So something smooth, and then get 2 of the exact same one. Congrats on your new snake. Whenever a snake is new or a baby, I always say get 2 of the exact same hide, because you want the snake, they will prefer one hide over the other if you get different ones. And you want the snake to thermoregulate. They will feel secure in a hide, and if you give them 2 different ones, there will be one that they feel more secure in. So they'll stay in that one, and they'll prefer, because they choose. I can't think of the word. They value security over thermoregulation. So my point is just get 2 of the same hide so that they can't do that, so that they'll feel fine in both, but then they'll thermoregulate appropriately. Hey, buddy, I just had to pull you off my hat. He's got such a cool. I doubt that you can see it in the camera, but the top of his head is just beautiful peach color. I think that's the fire that does that. I'm not super familiar with boa morphs, but man, you are a handsome boy. Lori Weiser, you're so sweet with your super chats. I appreciate you. My daughter is here. Oh, Lori's daughter's here. That's great. He's here, so I'll catch the next live. Merry Christmas from Darwin, Marie, and Bindi. Merry Christmas to you all and to your daughter. I'm glad that you're spending time with her. I'm sure you will probably watch this once things are settled a bit. So happy holidays, Lori. Lori has supported this channel since the very beginning. Tara, thanks for the super chat. I am going to Pomona in January. So if anybody else is watching this and you're going to Pomona in January, if you see me and you want to say hi, come say hi. Because you don't know how many times I'll be at a booth or whatever, and I'll hear somebody whisper, hey, that's that guy that's the Green Room Pythons guy. That's that guy from YouTube. And then they don't ever come say hi. They just whisper, that's that guy. So feel free to come say hi. I am very approachable. Despite my look, I am actually approachable. And I love seeing people and meeting people who enjoy the channel. Here's a question that I'm just seeing right now. I got to get back to the Patreon ones, but it's a good one. Monty is asking, do you keep your whole reptile room at a certain humidity since you let them free roam? I'd love to be able to let mine out, but it gets so dry during the winter that I worry about respiratory infection problems. Yeah, so it's not really something that you need to worry too much about. If you had a super dry room and you were letting your snakes out all day long, they're hours and hours at a time, you could potentially have a problem. But if you're letting your snake out to roam for an hour or so, it's really not that big of a deal. My room temperature is more important than humidity, and even there, my room, I try to keep it in the high 70s, but sometimes it's in the mid 70s, 75, 76, which I think is a little bit low for them, but I'll still have some of my ball pythons out. at that temperature. I usually turn it up a little bit. I like it. I usually like it to be between 76 and 78 in here. And then my humidity is usually pretty high, but sometimes it gets down into the 30s. Right now it's super high. It's 64% humidity in here right now. It's great. It's been raining today, so I think that probably has to do with it. But I don't worry too much about the humidity. Really, I think that if you're in a really dry area, just don't have them out all day. But they spend, if their cage it has good humidity, and then they spend some time out in not great humidity, it's not that big of a deal because they're going back into their cage. They'll be fine. If we're talking about a baby rainbow boa, that's different. I don't even know how much time you would want to spend with them in not ideal humidity. I just know that they need high humidity and they're very fragile. So, but if we're talking about a ball python, not that big of a deal. Okay. Gary's TNA Exotics. What did I miss? Are you rehoming Handsome Dan? I am not rehoming Handsome Dan. That is a negative. Thanks for the super chat. Not rehoming Handsome Dan. Wheezy Vet Tech. Good to hear from you. Thanks for the super chat. My husband said he can't decorate his beard because it's nowhere nearly as majestic as yours. You know what? Any beard can be decorated. And I would say that decorating a beard makes it even more majestic. I feel like my beard at this point is more majestic than it was before I decorated it. So decorate away. There's lots of options for Christmas beard decorations, by the way. I had never seen this before. Lucy gave it to me. I always see the balls like what I have. These are from last year, the balls. And then there are lights that go with the balls. But this is a string of lights and a string of tinsel just for your beard. That's a new design for this year for the people who like to decorate their beards. Troy, thanks for the super chat. Merry Christmas. Can ball pythons digest their food if they stay coiled up in a hide? Yes, of course, especially if they're on the warm side. They just need heat, and they should be in a hide because they like to be hidden and they feel comfortable. They should be in a hide, and they need the warmth to digest. But a lot of times you will find, and I've talked about this in videos before, but a lot of times you'll find that you'll feed your ball python a meal, and then the next day you'll see them in their cold hide, and everybody's like, oh no, they're not going to digest. What should I do? Should I move them to the warm side? Don't worry about it, because pythons actually produce a little bit of heat. Even though they're cold-blooded, they do produce heat when they're digesting food. And you can test this with your heat gun. You can take a temperature reading of just the surrounding area in their cold hide, and then take a temperature reading of their belly. It'll be several degrees warmer. So a lot of times, because of that heat, they don't need extra heat. So what they'll do is they'll spend the first day on the cold side, and then they'll move to the warm side the second day or the third day, or whenever they choose to do it. Hang on, I'm getting a text here. So Yoli, the reason Yoli was asked me if I burger. Of course I want a chicken burger. This is why Yoli's one of my closest friends. She's my neighbor. She oftentimes, when she's making good food, she just brings me that food. Sometimes I just get lunch delivered here from her, and I don't know what's coming. I'm just starting to feel hungry, and all of a sudden she's got lunch for me. Hi, come in. And she's got a chicken burger. Come say hi. I was just talking about you. Say hi to
chicken burgers.
Thanks, Yoli. You're the best.
Hi, everybody.
Do you like my beard? Is it great?
That is really good.
Do you like Handsome Dan?
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Are you live streaming right now?
I'm right now. Everybody's yeah. You're totally on here live right now. Yeah. See, it's great. Thanks for the chicken burger.
Enjoy.
I'm gonna eat it when I'm done.
Bye.
How great is Yoli, right? Okay. I don't mind interrupting a live stream for free food. Okay, let me see. Hang on. Amy also texted me. Okay. I wish, Amy, will you just drive to California every time we do a live stream? It would be more helpful if you were just here live doing your producer role. Okay, Tara says, I'm going. Can't wait to meet you in person. Me too, Tara. That's fantastic. I'm glad you're going. I will definitely say hi. She's talking about the Pomona show. It was a while since we were talking about that. I'm super not shy. I'm even more excited to go. Everyone else who's going, we should all have a drink at the hotel bar. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be the US Arc auction will be Saturday night, and I will be at the US Arc auction. So for sure. Fizzy, thanks for the super chat. Me, as an absolute introvert, would immediately come say hi to you if I saw you at a reptile show. I'm East Coast, though. Maybe one day. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you would say hi. Yes, for sure. I will. I'm going to start attending reptile shows that are further out, that are East Coast, Midwest, stuff like that. Tenley. I want to go to those, so I'll start doing that. Handsome Dan is loving this hat. This is, you guys. This is why I do hats like this. Okay, back to the Patreon questions. You guys, thank you so much for all these super chats. It's really nice, and it's just making the live stream longer. We're on the second page. We only have a page and a half of these today, so it's okay that you guys are making it longer. Plus, Amy's texting me. Amy's saying, quick, Patreon before you get more super chats. Okay, we're doing it. Here we go. Stacy is saying, my question is temp and humidity gauge placement in different types of enclosures. And is it better to have them separate as opposed to a temp humidity combo? No, just to do one of these. I can reach this right now because it's out. I mean, the battery is dead, so you can't see. But do one of these. Either do like a Govee or a SwitchBot or something. It's digital, and it has a very accurate temperature and humidity reading. And just put it on the floor. And the reason is, I don't want him to grab onto the decorations back there. So the reason is that you want to take the temperature and humidity reading at the place that the snake is spending time, which is at the floor. So just toss it in there. I have mine. Let's see. The inspector's is right. You see that piece of wood? It's on the ground right on the other side of that piece of wood, so that makes it really easy. I have had it like in his last enclosure. I had a temperature and humidity gauge stuck to the side of the wall, but I didn't really like it because that's not the best spot to be reading your temperature and humidity. He's not spending his time halfway up the wall. He's spending his time on the ground. So, okay. Joy asks, what is your method for measuring a snake's length? I have measured a lot of snakes' lengths before. And other than the fact that I have a YouTube channel where I want to talk about it, there's no reason to measure the snake's length. Your curiosity and would be the best, would be really the only reason that you need to do that. And the answer to the question is serpwidgets.com. So you take a picture of your snake. You've got to be directly over them from head to tail. And then you upload it on Serp Widgets, and then you can do this little marker thing all the way down from nose to tail. And make sure that they're next to a ruler, like put a ruler down next to them. So you're taking a picture of both things, and then it tells you how to do it. But that's what I use. You can also use the string method if you want to, if your snake will allow you to do it. You know what the best way though is? Just let your snake crawl around, let them get by a wall. Snakes like to crawl straight along walls. And once they straighten out along the wall, grab you 2 points and measure those. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But I've always used Serp Widgets. Okay. Back to super chats. I think there was a couple of them that came in. Hang on, let me see. Okay, there is several that came in. Hold on, let's not miss these. Lindsay, thanks for this. You should come back to Snake Discovery or a Minnesota Reptile Show. That would be awesome. I will be back at Snake Discovery at some point for sure, because I love those guys and that is a fun place to be. So I'll make a trip back there. Charmless, thanks for the super chat. Did you have a question to go with it? If you did, tag Amy in it, and she'll alert me of it. Thanks for that. Thanks for that super chat. Joy, thank you for this super chat. Merry Christmas, Bob and Snakes. How do you keep up to date on the reptile shows? I'm in Reno, Nevada, so probably my best bet for a good one is Sacramento, but I don't know how you guys hear about them. You know what? Well, first of all, people ask me if I'm going to a show, and a lot of times that's the first time I hear about it. Like somebody will go, "Are you going to the show next weekend?" And I quickly look it up. But if I was really trying to stay on top of it, I would just be Googling, like in the LA area or in the Northern California area, I would just Google reptile shows, and that's how you find them. The NARBC shows, you can go onto NARBC's website, and they have several locations that they do their expos. Those are the great big ones. And so yeah, just internet searches, or wait till somebody asks you if you're going to a show, which is what I do lots of times. Let's see. Charmless wants to know how to deal with scale rot. Okay. So before I asked, Amy had already texted me about it. Scale rot. Let's see. I haven't dealt with scale rot since I was in high school, but you can look that up. What I would do is look up a YouTube video, but I would probably use silver savazidine cream for scale rot. You want to not take my advice on it, because I don't have recent experience, so I don't want to give I don't want to give medical advice on something that I haven't done recently. Take it to a vet is the best course of action. However, scale rot is something that's treatable without a vet. You can probably find videos online that will explain. Make sure that you are watching somebody that you trust, to have good information on it. But basically, you want something that cleans the area and then that promotes healing for the area. And then also you want to figure out why. Like, was it too much? Was the animal sitting in a wet spot for a long time? Was it super wet in there? Was there extra bacteria? Like what happened that caused it? Chris, thanks for the super chat. I have a banana black pastel special ball python. What do you think the special will do in that combo? No idea. I'm sorry. I can't help you with that at all. If you showed me a special ball python, I would not be able to identify it. I'm not, as many people that watch the channel know, I'm not really a morph guy. I understand the morphs that I work with, but I don't know a lot of other stuff. And special is definitely one that I can't even picture what that looks like. I know it's a morph. I've heard about it, but I don't know what it looks like. Banana black pastel is amazing though. I know that combo. That's pretty cool. And you know what I'm going to do probably tomorrow as I go through these chats I always go through the chat the next day to read everything. I'm going to come across that question and I'm going to look it up. So I bet by the end of the day tomorrow, I'm going to know all about special. Luke, thanks for the super chat. I'm in Canada, no expos in the winter, but I'd travel. Would love to meet Bob. Oh, that's so nice. That's so cool. Yeah, come to Pomona in January. That's a long trip. That's only a few weeks away. That's really nice. There were a number of people who traveled to Clint's reptile room to meet all the creators that showed up to Clint's grand opening, and a lot of people that traveled for a long way to do that. Let's see, where did this go? Hang on. Thanks for that super chat. Okay, back to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Handsome Dan back, and then I'm going to grab another snake, and then I'm going to get back to the Patreon questions. Hey, buddy, I'm trying to put you back, pal. Okay, be right back. Hi, buddy. Oh my gosh, he is so grippy. That guy. I talk about that in the next video, whether it comes out next week or the week after. I'm going to talk about how strong boas are, and they are like, when he doesn't want to come off my hat, he's going to hang on to my hat super tight. All right, what's another snake option that? Oh, I know. Let's do an update on Kata. I'll show you guys Kata. Hang on. Let me just do this real quick. We'll get Kata out. Because I like to sanitize occasionally, you know. Some of you might know that but Kata just laid eggs about a week ago, a little over a week ago. Hey, Mama. Now, when you look at this snake, you wouldn't necessarily think that she just laid eggs. You know, oftentimes when you see a ball python that just laid eggs, they are hollow, they're skin and bones. She's a little bit, you know, when she's sitting over my hand, you can see her spine right here. But she still has a lot of fat on her. So she had a nice clutch of 7 eggs, 7 good eggs and 1 slug. And now we're going to just have her on a nice diet for the next year or so, because I don't want her to get back to the unhealthy weight that she was at. You know, breeding females need to have extra fat on them so they can turn that into eggs. But when I got Kata 2 years ago, she had more than extra fat. She was unhealthy, obese. And I've just been waiting for her to lay eggs, so that we could get her, you know, turn some of that fat into eggs, and then we just get her eating healthy. So she'll skip next season. She might skip this season after that. I said this in a video already. Many of you have seen this, but I'm gonna start her on small rats for a little while, then we'll get back up to mediums and get her in good shape. The nice thing is she likes to crawl around. You know, a lot of my ball pythons that like to come out and just go under the furniture and sleep the rest of the day. And Kata does like to crawl around a little bit more. She likes to have that movement and exercise. I want Amy Bentley, thanks for the super chat. I cheered for Kata, and now Brady is watching too. Nice. Hi, Brady. I'm glad you both are watching now. Yeah, Kata's doing very well. I have not really had her out since she laid, and I set her up in a very bare bones tub right now until she eats again. I'm actually going to feed her. I'm going to offer her food tonight, and so if she takes her food tonight, then I will start giving her more enrichment and just get her going. It's just a regular pet snake who's not crazy fat and not in breeding season. It'll be great. All right. Let's see if I missed anything here. I don't think I have. No. All right, back to these. Where am I at on the Patreon stuff? Okay, Tevi says, "Hi Bob, this is my question. When socializing and free roaming your snakes, do you keep your boa, handsome Dan, separate from your ball pythons? Do you keep the super dwarf retics separated from the other species during roaming?" Yes, absolutely. I have some videos. One video especially on the rules that I have for these snakes, and one of the rules is that I don't mix species. So the ball pythons, like Kata here, when she's roaming, she's on the floor. She's big enough to just be on the floor under furniture. I'm never going to step on her. I'm always going to see her out of the corner of my eye, and I always try to keep tabs on where they are at all times. Anyway, the super dwarves stay on the top level and medium level of the house. So I know where they are all the time, and I keep my eye on them, especially if other snakes are out. I know that Echo is going to be up there. Let's just take a look at Echo real quick. Still sitting in her log, but she's watching what's going on. She's seeing some activity happening, so she's watching. She stays up there. Stella tends to crawl around more and get herself into trouble, but I keep an eye on her when she's out because I don't want her on the floor. And then Handsome Dan has his own spot. He likes to be 6 feet up on the top of this rack that's kind of cluttered, and he tends to be there. Or if the super dwarfs aren't out, I'll put him on here to do some climbing. So yeah, no mixing of species. There are other rules that I have for who can be out with one another. But basically, it comes down to juvenile ball pythons can be out together, and adult females can be out together. That is that. Warrior Brood asks, "Hey Bob, how do you decide when to do choice-based handling versus just picking up and handling the snake?" So, it's usually because I do a combo of both. I think that you can definitely get a snake to trust you where they don't mind being picked up, and it doesn't frighten them if they know who you are, and if they've had enough positive interactions with you. So choice-based is more when they're, hey, Kata, you're not going there. She's trying to make a choice to go where I don't want her to go. Choice-based is definitely for younger snakes, babies, or for a snake that just hasn't been socialized well. Kata is a great example. When I got her 2 years ago, she had been with a large breeder that didn't, bigger breeders don't work with their snakes because they can't really. So, I'm sure that she was happy just being in her little den and not being messed with. But because she hadn't been messed with, she hadn't been socialized. And so it took a little while, and I did a lot of choice-based with her then. But then I do it, the only time I reach in and pick up a snake is if I need to for some reason. Like when I'm showing you guys all the snakes, obviously I'm just picking them up. But if I don't need to do that for cleaning purposes or because I need to check them out or whatever, a lot of times I'll just open their cage and show them my hand. Even a really well socialized snake, I like to do that as much as possible because I want the snakes to know that a lot of times when they see me, it doesn't mean that I'm going to pick them up. I don't want them to think that I'm picking them up every time they see me. So if I see a snake at the front of their tub, the snakes that are in tubs here, if I see them in the front, I'm always going to open the tub. I'm usually going to show them my hand, and then I let them be. I see if they are trying to come out or not. Sometimes they want to come out, and a lot of times they don't. I had Damara and Lucille's cage or their tub open all day today, from about 6 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock this afternoon, 4 o'clock this afternoon, probably. Open the entire time, and they stayed in their tub the whole time. I had them open because I had just done full cleanings for everybody, and their substrate was too wet. It was too humid in there, so I was trying to dry it out. But they didn't choose to come out, which is okay. A lot of times snakes want to come out, and a lot of times they don't. Hey, you're going to mess up my beard situation, lady. Okay. I don't know if I answered that question, but it's basically case by case. with younger ones being more choice based. All right, Chelsea asks, let's see if Kata can do this on my beard without ruining everything. Let's just see how it ends up at the end of this little stroll that she's taking around my beard. All right. Chelsea says, my question, I've read that you're not supposed to remove hides to handle your snakes since they're supposed to be in safe places and to let your snakes come to you. But what do you do when your snake never really comes out of their hide, at least during the hours that you can handle them? Does this negatively affect trust? How do you build better trust? Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. So, yeah, that's not really, I mean, that's kind of a thing. You know, I always say that I try not to wake my snakes up and pull them out of their hides. I'm gonna put Kata back. Oh, she did mess up my beard. Look at that. I try not to wake my snakes up and pull them out of their hides. You know, just so that I can hang out with them. I wait till I see a snake that's up already. But that being said, I also there's oftentimes reason to pull a snake out of a hide. If I need to do some cleaning or whatever, you know, whether I actually pull them out or push them to the side or whatever, it's really not that big of a deal. But if you've got a new snake that you're trying to do the choice-based handling with, I don't need to fix this, right? You guys don't care. If you got a new snake that you're trying to do the choice-based handling with, I would, you know, I would say once a week, you could, if you wanted to just handle the snake, you could take them out of their hide and pick them up. If they have a negative reaction to that, then it just takes some time. You know, sometimes there are certain individuals that take longer than others. And, usually when a snake gets used to their enclosure, they realize it's there, they're going to start coming out earlier in the evening. Sometimes you have snakes that don't come out until 10, 11, 12 at night. And then some that'll come out at 7 or 8, you know, because they're just used to things. So it's a hard question to answer because I don't know the individual snake, and they're all individuals. But it is not the end of the world if you pick up the hide to handle your snake. You just want to do it gently, carefully. I always say, don't come at them like you're a hungry falcon. Yeah, I think it's, you know, when I have babies in a baby rack where they're all in tubs, they're in these little tubs that they feel safe in, and I can see through the tub, so I can see when they're out of their hide and they're in the front of their tub. And a lot of times for babies that it'll happen during the day more often than adults. And then I can just open the tub and show them my hand. That's a very easy thing. But if you have them in a fish tank, that's hard. It's harder to do that, you know? So, okay, let me see if I missed any super chats. I missed Catherine's. Do you have a question, Catherine? Thanks for that super chat. It's so nice. And I missed Taylor's. Taylor, that's so nice. Merry Christmas from the menagerie. Merry Christmas to you and all those animals that you have, Taylor. It's good to see you. Did I miss any others? No, I think I got them all. All right. Next snake. Let's see what the request was here. we can do. Here's little B. Everybody asks about B. Oh, you got some of your shed off. Good job. For the second shed in a row, she had the worst shed you can imagine. Just not only does she not eat, she also doesn't shed very well. Look at this. You're getting your tail off. I'm so proud of you. I gave her, she still needs her entire head though. I gave her a lot of humidity. I made her tub almost an entire humid hide. Can I help you with your tail here, babe? And I think she just doesn't get enough. Her humidity is up, but she doesn't, she certainly doesn't eat enough. I assist feed her when I feel like I need to, but I try to get her to eat on her own. And so she's not really getting enough fluid, liquid, hydration is the word that I'm looking for. And see her mouth right here. Hold on, let's see if I can. Her mouth is partially open right now. It's on the other side though. I can't see what you're seeing. I can't tell if you can see that or not. But her mouth kind of, there you go. Now you can see it. She kind of holds it open like that sometimes. And she can close it, but this is the side that she has the deformation on. And so I just closed it for her. And it just doesn't, she can open it and close it on her own. But she doesn't do it when she's trying to get food. She strikes with an open mouth and then pulls away with an open mouth. And she has the instinct to wrap, but then she doesn't have the instinct to eat on her own. And so it's very unfortunate. So we're working on this shed without trying to you can try to eat my hand. Please do. Try to eat something. This is another thing. You probably couldn't see that, but she had her lower jaw on my thumb and she just pushed forward and it just opened her mouth, whereas any other snake would just move their head and they wouldn't open their mouth that easily. So she is a problem child. I do still think that she'll start eating on her own because all she has to do, when the food is in her mouth, she can then eat it. She does it when I feed her and she passes it fine. And she does fine with it, but she just needs to get to where she puts the food in her mouth by herself, whether she strikes or whether she finds it on the ground and eats it, eats a dropped meal like some ball pythons will do. But as of yet, she hasn't done that. So I'm putting her back. She's right below me. And I put her in her water dish because it's a little extra hydration. Let's see what this text is. Oh man, I have so many texts here. Catherine wanted to ask you to tell her husband to let her have a boa. Catherine's husband. Cool. I really love this. Let Catherine have a boa. I mean, come on. What's the worst that could happen? Okay. I hope that was convincing. His name is Max. Max, let Catherine have a boa. What is wrong with you, Max? All right. Now that I had all the information for that message. And then the last text message that Amy said, by the way, here's the string of texts. She says, "Hi, you're ignoring my text messages." I'm not, Amy, I promise. Okay. There's a lot going on here, you guys. The green room does not have this much going on ever. until I do a live stream. Then there's so much happening at once. And I always see comments in, like, when I watch this tomorrow, when I look at the chat tomorrow, I'm going to see so many comments and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had seen that. I wish I could have answered that. Sarah, thanks for the super chat. Merry Christmas, Bob. Can we see the inspector? You know what? Maybe. Let me see where he is. He ate last night. He had a pretty good sized meal last night. Let's see where he is. He's on the warm side for sure. He's not as easy to get out because I gotta dig out hides. But I know you guys haven't seen him in a while. Hey, buddy. Ugh. Here's something that I cannot figure out with him. He's done it twice now. He's getting his face on something that looks like tape residue, but there's no tape. Sorry, pal. Can I see your face for a second? You know, I just woke you up. Hang on. Let me let him chill out for a second. Figure out where he is. So it's on the other side of his face. He's got this black. There you go. Now you can see it. And last time he got it, like, I saw that on his face and I was like, oh man, I got to get that off. And then he went into shed and then he just shed it off. But now he's got it on there again. Can I see this, buddy? Let me just mess with your face for a second. Yeah, and I don't know where it's coming from. I gotta look around his cage and see what he's getting into to get that on his face. Not a huge deal. Like, it's not gonna hurt him, but I just don't like it. It looks like it's adhesive of some sort, but Black Box doesn't put adhesive anywhere on their cages, so I don't know what it is. It's a mystery. Okay, you guys can't see him. Taylor, thanks for the super chat. Forgot to ask the Patreon question, or the question on Patreon. My favorite Christmas movie. You know what? I love Elf. That's a newer one. You would think that I would say A Christmas Story or something that's more my era, one of those old timey ones. But man, Elf is good. And then Die Hard, I guess, if we're going old timey Christmas movie. That is old timey. That's my generation of movies. Die Hard is a favorite Christmas movie, but man, Elf is so good. I really enjoy it. And then, wait, Joy had a super chat and I just missed it. There it is. Hi, Joy. Thanks for the super chat. Bob, my girl, Daphne. Is that right? Daphne, Daphne. Sure. That's a good name. I like it. Has recently been burrowing under her paper towels. I make sure the temps are safe for her to be right up against her plastic. But any thoughts on why she's doing this? Yeah, that's pretty common. It's a hiding spot for them. That's great. That's no problem. They can definitely do that if they want to. If you've got paper for them. Kata is on paper all the time. She does better on paper. She's one of my few snakes that do better on paper than any other substrate, and she likes to ball it up and crawl under there, and that's totally fine. Your temps on the plastic is going to be the same as the paper. You know, you don't have any thickness there, so it's going to pretty much be the same. Okay, I've got a couple that I'm missing, so let me scroll up. Amy's telling me that I am missing some super chats. Oh, hang on. Okay, so here's Elizabeth and Tara had. Okay, thanks, Amy. Thanks for the heads up. Hang on, let me see if. Okay. Got it. All right. So Elizabeth, thanks for this super chat. See you guys. If I miss them, we'll get them to them eventually. Do you have any snakes that bury their poops? I don't find them until I rehydrate the substrate, and I know how long they've been there. Yeah, I don't know that they, and I don't know how long they've been there. Yeah, that's happened to me before. I always feel bad when I go in to do a full clean out of the cages and I dump their substrate and I see a poop and I'm like, oh man, how long has that been in there? It happens occasionally. I don't think they try to bury them. I think what they're doing is they're putting their tail under the substrate maybe and then just going, and the substrate is on top of the, ends up on top of it. But yeah, I try to be careful and catch everything, but occasionally it happens. Buddy, you are the best hat band. The inspector looks so good on my hat. Okay, Tara had a super chat that I had missed. The super chat's paid for your next snake at auction. Yeah, maybe. If I get enough super chats here, maybe they'll pay for the next snake that I get accidentally at the Pomona auction. I appreciate you guys. Okay, I think I got all the super chats at this point. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So we got the inspector doing well on my hat. He's happy up there. He feels like I'm not holding him anymore. The inspector doesn't like to be handled really. He would prefer to do his own thing. And I think if he's just up on my hat, he feels like he's gotten away from me. So I'm fine from that. Fine with that. Joy, thanks for the other super chat. Thanks for the answer. And it's Daphne. Oh, not Daphne. Was I saying Daphne? Daphne. Of course it's Daphne. But I still love you. Daphne, yes, of course. This is when I've had two Christmas. What did I call this? Holiday. A nod to the holidays. Is that what I called this? I'm going to call it the Christmas special. The special drink that I make for the holidays. Those of you who were here in the beginning know what I'm talking about. So I keep seeing my signal drop. It's been raining like crazy in LA, and I hope there hasn't been too much choppiness, pausing. It's always a bummer when that happens. Okay. Hold on, folks. Oh yes, Santa's Claus was the other name for the alternative name for this special drink of just whiskey. If you're not used to drinking just whiskey and you choose to have this drink, you can call it Santa's Claus. Okay, where are we at? Oh, we're almost done with the Patreon questions. Patreon. You know what? We're going to have a live Patreon party one of these days where we're going to all bake pastries and we're going to call it the Patreon party. You guys, I just had that idea. I think it's the greatest, one of my greatest ideas, a Patreon party. Okay, here we go. Next question. Last question from Toya. Hey, Bob, even though you don't feed live, I was wondering if you had any advice on the best way to do it. When I set them up to eat, they get distracted and follow me, and it takes a while for them to figure out the mouse or rat is in there. I'd be curious to know what you mean by setting them up to eat, because the best way, if you're feeding live, is to just put the rodent in there, in their home. So there shouldn't be a lot of there shouldn't be a lot of extra stuff there. You don't want to be feeding in a separate enclosure or anything like that. Just drop the rodent in there. If the snake is in their hide, they will smell that there's a rodent in, and they should come out and get it. So you just want to drop it in, and then keep an eye on them the whole time, until they have successfully acquired their meal. It's always risky to feed live, but especially if you're not watching them. So that's the best way to do it. Just drop it in. And if they're distracted by something, or it takes them a minute to get it, that's okay. That's not a problem. They're going to do their process of whatever it is that they need to do to eat. If we're talking about a ball python, which I'm guessing we are, they're going to smell that there's a rat in there, or a mouse or whatever, rodent in their enclosure. And they're going to come out of their hide and set up an ambush. They'll probably be a quarter to halfway out their hide, and they're just going to be still for a minute and wait for that rodent to come close, and then they're going to grab it. Ball pythons are not active hunters. I actually saw this again. I see it constantly. People's argument for feeding live is they say that they want their snake to do the hunting that they would do in the wild. And the fact is that ball pythons are ambush hunters, so they will do the same behavior for a frozen thawed meal. They'll smell that there's a rodent, they'll come out of their hide, set up an ambush, and their frozen thawed meal can come close enough for them to strike and wrap. And it's the same hunting behavior that they would be doing with alive. But as many of us know, some ball pythons won't eat frozen thawed. They only eat live. So that's your best reason for doing for feeding live is that your ball python won't take a frozen thawed. Let me put the inspector's stuff back really quick, and then put him back. Give me one moment. Talk amongst yourselves. I know you already are. Sorry for my backside. Or you're welcome, depending on... Oh, no. Oh, man. Now he's gone. Look at this. Speaking of backside, he's gone into the slot in my shirt. All right. This shouldn't be a huge problem. Hang on. I mean, it shouldn't be a huge problem. Oh, unbelievable. Ah, got it. There we go. So since my trip to the Amazon, I bought special clothes just for the Amazon that are like cool wicking clothes that you would wear in the jungle. And I've never had clothes like that before. I like those kind of clothes so much better than cotton. So much more comfortable for me. So now every shirt that I get is something like that. Like this is a fishing shirt, but I just bought it to wear normally because I like the non-cotton stuff. All right. Did I miss anything while I don't think so. Okay. Who haven't we? Oh, you guys want to see the littlest retic? Because he's not going to be here much longer. I just, he did so good with his target training yesterday. I just posted a video. Some of you may have seen it. Ellie, thanks so much for the super chat. Yes, we can see Lucille. And I'm glad you love the channel. Let me get the littlest retic out and then Lucille. Amy, don't let me forget to pull Lucille out. Oops. anyway, I just posted a short with the littlest retic doing his target training, and he did so good because he oftentimes strikes at the target too. He's very excited, but this one that he did the other night was just like he did exactly what he's supposed to do. Goes up, touches the target with his nose, and then he looks to me for his food. It was great. It was perfect. Hang on. Hey, little one, you're just right there, huh? You're just ready to come out. You were just ready to come out. You were looking for it, huh? Okay. So this little boy is going to his new home. Brody and Elia are picking him up in the next week or 2 or 3, something like that. And I will miss him because he's fantastic. I love this little guy. Super smart, very inquisitive, very well socialized. He has flown out and bit me twice. He's very fast when he thinks he's getting fed. But that's just me being stupid and opening a tub with my hand and not realizing where he is. He's pretty great. NY, yes, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, we can see Bear also. So we got Lucille and Bear. In fact, I'll get them out at the same time. We'll look at my 2 straight pieds. We'll look at some differences. Okay. There we go. All right. So he's doing good. KP, great question. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Bob, who was your first ball python you got in the green room? The inspector. It was the first one. I had been without reptile. I've had reptiles my whole life, but I went probably 8 or 10 years without any reptiles. The last ones that I had 2 bearded dragons prior to that. But then I went 8 or 10 years without having anything because I was touring a lot and just wasn't in a place where I could have animals. And then I realized that I actually could do a snake because snakes don't have to eat all the time. And I was in a place where I was touring less. So I got the inspector. And then I got a bunch of other snakes. And then I started a YouTube channel, and here we are. Okay. So this little boy, this might be the last video that he's featured in. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because he is he's only here for probably a couple more weeks. All right, I'm gonna put him back, and then we'll get the pieds out. But he is still the littlest retic, but he's gotten quite a bit bigger since I had him. But he's still on hopper mice. I still just feed him hopper mice. He's just a little tiny boy. So cute, so smart. Okay, be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm hearing texts, which means I probably doing something wrong. Erica, I got both of those. Thanks for the heads up, but I've seen both of those. Okay, so let's look at these 2 pieds. First, Lucille. No, let me grab Bear first real quick. say hi to Bear while I grab Lucille. Hey, Mama. There's 2 pied ball pythons. Lucille is just a pied. Bear is het for clown. And he and Lydia Dietz produced some lovely clown pieds this year. Let's do this. Let's see. Okay, that's better. I mean, how cool is pied, right? It's just, I mean, in any animal, you know, you ever seen a piebald deer? Really cool. Hey, don't unhook my, there we go. Jason, thanks for the super chat. Merry Christmas. Can't watch now, but give me a good starter Scotch if you can, and I'll get caught up later. Oh, great. Thanks for that super chat, Jason. Good starter Scotch is, do yourself a favor and get the Classic Laddie. That's by a distillery called Bruneladic. And it's about depends on where you're at, but it's probably a $50 bottle. But it's really nice, not super challenging. There's a lot of scotches that are challenging, but it's a light blue bottle. It's a very unique looking bottle. The Classic Laddie. Catherine, thanks for the super chat. Did I already see yours? You're asking right down here. Thanks for the super chat. Can we see Delilah if we haven't already? Yeah, we haven't pulled her out yet. I want one of her babies. She's my favorite. Oh, that's great. She's your favorite of my ball pythons. Cool. I expected that we would have babies from her this year, but she did not lay eggs this season. But yeah, well, we can pull her out. And then Taylor, thanks for the super chat, requesting some girls who don't get requested as much. Molly Malone or Evie. Okay. So yeah. For sure. Evie is working on being a mama. Well, Molly is too, actually, but I think Evie's further along than Molly is. So Delilah, okay. Putting these back because I want to get to these. I want to show the snakes. Is there anything we can say about these two right here? I don't think so. We've got Lucille is in her breeding season right now. She's being paired with Captain Farrell this year. And that's all we got to say about her. She's doing well. And Bear's just doing his thing. He's not paired with anybody this season. He gets a season off. I doubt he appreciates it though. Okay, hang on. I just noticed that Bear has a pink belly, and I think he just shed recently. I'll have to look and see. Oh, I know Delilah's in shed right now. Let's see how. Delilah's the closest snake to me right now. She is in shed, so I'll pull her out for a minute to just show. She's pretty deep in shed right now. I love this girl. She is so sweet. Such a good mama. Such a great eater. So cool looking. This last clutch that she had proved that she was Orange Dream, which was not expected. I knew that one of her parents was Orange Dream, but we thought that she was just a pastel freeway. And as it turns out, she's a pastel orange dream freeway, which is pretty cool news. Molly Malone. The question was asked earlier in the live stream on the Patreon, which morphs don't fade out. Ultramel does not fade out. Look at how bright she is. She's as bright right now as she was when I got her. She was under 100 grams when she came to me. She was like 85 grams, so tiny. But she's as bright today as she was then. What a pretty lady. Molly Malone. And then let's just see what Evie's up to. I'm hoping she goes sometime this year. Evie is my Het Sunset girl. She is vanilla Het Sunset. And she's paired with the Sundance Kid, who is Cinnamon Het Sunset. He's also Het Clown. But as far as I know, Evie doesn't have any clown in her. So they've been pairing up for a while. And I have not palpated Evie yet. I should probably do that at some point, see where she's at. But I usually just let the snakes do what they do. And sometimes they lay eggs and sometimes they don't. I'm not super crazy about, I guess like if I had an ultrasound, I would use it, but am I going to pay $1,000 for an ultrasound? Probably not, anyway, Evie is very pretty. This is, you're just looking at vanilla. I don't know that there's any Het influence with Sunset, but maybe there is. But anyway, vanilla is just pretty. It messes up the pattern a little bit, gives her some squiggles, gives her like this thing that looks like a Teletubby. Remember the Teletubbies? That alien head. Wait, how do I? I'm looking at myself and it's backwards. Here. Look at this one right here. It looks like a Teletubby. She's got a couple of those. And then she's just a pretty girl. And one of the nicest. I'm going to put her back because I don't like messing with them too much when they're in breeding season. But she is just one of the sweetest girls. She's kind of like, she reminds me of Lucille a little bit in that she never seems stressed about anything. She just kind of goes with the flow. She's a good girl. Okay. Got that. Let me just catch up. Erica, thanks for that. Hit the like button, everyone. That's nice of you. I appreciate that super chat. And the reminder to hit the like button. Brian, thanks for the super chat. What does Het Pied, Het Anery, Het Albino mean? It means that the normal looking snake that is Het for 3 different I can't think of words right now. I just can't think of words right now. It's Het for 3 different genes. And what that means is that they're not going to show up visually. You need 2 copies for the recessive genes. Recessive is the word that I was trying to think of. You need 2 copies of a recessive gene for it to show up. And if they're Het, it just means that they have 1 copy. So this snake has 1 copy of Pied, 1 copy of Anery, and 1 copy of albino. And if you paired them with another snake that had a copy of pied, anery, and albino, you could make some visuals potentially. That is what that means. Kind of confusing, especially when I can't think of key words that I want to say. Will jumped in to help out. Thanks, Will. I have some older videos on genetics. Do you guys want me to do more genetics videos? I know Amy does, but I feel like they're boring for most people. But I don't know. Maybe they're not. Should I do more genetics explanations? I mean, I feel like I've done a basic genetics video. I've done one on specifically on the banana gene because that's such a weird gene. And I've done allelic, I think. Oh, people are saying yes. I know Amy wants to. She's saying yes. All right. So what do you want to know? Give me a give me what you'd like to see. Like what's something that you don't quite understand? Double hets, okay. Pied, okay, so that could be like a recessive video. So the thing, the funny thing is, I feel like I have a good understanding of genetics, and I think I explain it well for most people, not for everybody, because we all learn differently, and genetics are kind of confusing. But I'm not a morph guy, so identifying morphs, being able to tell what's what, is not my thing. But I do understand how they get their morphs, and I think I can explain it in a video. So maybe we'll do some. Maybe we'll do some genetics. Blue-eyed Lucy's. Okay, that's cool. I don't have any to show if I did that, but leucistic stuff is interesting. Okay, all right. It sounds like you guys want genetics videos. We can do that. Okay. Let me just make sure that I covered everything. Is there any other snake that you guys want to see? Because we're going to cut this short. My beard is starting to fall out, which means that we're probably nearing the end of the live stream. Yes, Amy has been asking me for a long time to do more genetics videos. And maybe I'll figure out one more to do. Oh, Northern Lights, good to see you. I did have the inspector out, so when you do a rewatch, you'll see. I just put him back not too long ago. Okay, Delilah, we just had out. Jenny Craig. Okay, I can bring Jenny. Oh, can I? Hang on. When did she? Oh no, she's eating tonight. I can bring her out. Hang on. Okay. Jenny Craig. She is right here waiting for me. Hi, lady. She wants some food. She has been she's been getting spots like crazy lately. They're super tiny. They're probably going to get bigger as she sheds, but she has a lot of them. And you know who else has been getting his banana spots is Max, which I didn't really expect. I thought that fire would keep those spots at bay, but Max has just lately, like after his last shed, all of a sudden a bunch of spots came out. He's got spots on his head. Oh no, it's this girl that has spots on her head. Yeah, I don't know if you can see them. But anyway, we got banana spots coming out for these two. The inspector doesn't have many spots at all, and it's because he's super inchy. And that kind of wipes out the spots, which is cool. I like them both ways. I think Jenny Craig is going to have lots. She's going to be, because they're starting to come in. She's a pretty girl. Yeah, she's cool. She's going to eat tonight, and she'll be happy about that. She likes to eat. She's a big fan of food. She's getting she's basically getting small mediums now. We had her on that diet. She did well on it. Now she's back up to eating pretty large meals, but with space in between. I think she's getting a full 14 days, at least 10, but maybe 14 in between. Let's see. I feel like I missed a super chat. Kendra, thanks for this super chat. I would love to know how pied works in the body, like why their heads are usually colored and tips of the tails usually white, how it spreads through the body. Yeah, I would too. I don't know that there's any good explanation of that specifically. Pied, and is it like that with other pied animals? Piebald is a morph that happens in lots of animals. And does it work the same way, or is it just with snakes that it happens like that? In fact, I should look at other piebald snakes. I haven't really noticed to see if they keep the coloring on their head like ball pythons do. I'm not sure if that's the case. Somebody put it in the chat, or if you're watching this later, put it in the comments if other snakes keep that. I don't know that. I mean, I could do some research on it, but I don't think that I'd find anything that tells specifically why that happens. But it is interesting. Okay. I'm going to put Jenny Craig back. Check her out before she goes. She's a pretty girl. She's going to be happy to get some food. Okay, guys, we are 2 hours and 15 minutes into this. I really hope I didn't miss any super chats. Whenever I go through the next day and I see that we completely missed a super chat, I feel awful about it. That may have happened. I feel like that happened last time. I'll have to look into that. But anyway, I don't think we missed any. All right. You guys are great. Thanks for being with me this long on the stream. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday. And again, we may skip next week. I haven't decided yet, but if we skip next week, we'll definitely have something next week. Hang on, Amy just texted me. Let me make sure it's not something. Oh, she's saying I didn't miss any. Okay, great. We didn't miss any super chats. All right, you guys. Happy holidays. I'll see you next time.